How's it going, everyone? Want to go over a plethora of PlayStation 4 and 5 game updates? Got another Harry Potter game coming, and I don't think this is going to slow down anytime in the near future. I think it's going to be all in for Warner Brothers on various Harry Potter projects, and this one, Quidditch Champions. I think it's going to be a free-to-play title. Playtest signups are live right now. We'll talk about it. Got a little bit of talk, and it's not confirmed to be a free-to-play game, but all signs point to that, so we'll talk about that. Another free-to-play game. We know it's going to be a free-to-play game. Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland has gotten a bit of an update. But first off, I loved Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe they could have done a little bit with Quidditch, but we have a Quidditch-based game in Harry Potter Quidditch Champions that has been announced for consoles and PC. No specific consoles were announced for Quidditch Champion. I imagine it would be, PS5, Xbox Series by the time this game officially comes out. I think the PS4 is going to be kind of phased out at that point, but we'll see. I wouldn't think the game is going to be anything blow away where it couldn't be on the PS4, but Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is an online multiplayer game that engages players in the sport of Quidditch and other broomstick adventures alongside friends in a competitive multiplayer setting. Now, there's an FAQ that has been posted with the game, and I'm not going to go through every bit of information, but it seems like this is going to be something that has all the elements of a free-to-play game. Like, it looks like it's going to have microtransactions, and that's going to be a big aspect of the game. There's a lot of customizability options and everything like that. However, they don't specifically note that it is a free-to-play game, so don't take this as it is going to be free-to-play. That seems to be, kind of up in the air based on the fact that how I've seen Hogwarts Legacy doing. I could see this being a case where they go the route of it being a 1999 release and then it just has the free-to-play aspects in it as well. I think that would very much upset people, but ultimately I'm not here to get up in arms over something that we don't know much about. It might just be a free-to-play game. It might just be a case of they're finalizing those kinds of aspects to the game. But the fact it's called Quidditch Champions and Champions is in the title as well, I feel like that also leads people to think that way. But nonetheless, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is a fast-paced competitive multiplayer game featuring the world's most iconic magical sports. Warner Brothers Games is publishing Quidditch Champions under the Portkey Games label. Obviously, that was the label created to release all of these Harry Potter titles. It's been in development for several years by Unbroken Studios, so the game's been in the works for quite a while. And Unbroken Studios is an LA-based team. They've got a pretty large studio. Their official website notes 93 developers with a proven track record of working on some of the most memorable franchises such as Battlefield, Call of Duty, God of War, and the Arkham franchise. So there you go with that. It's a complete standalone Quidditch experience developed by Unbroken Studios. It engages players in the sport of Quidditch and other broomstick adventures alongside friends in a competitive multiplayer setting. It's presently in limited playtest. A release date has not been set. They do note PC and console. Players can create and customize their own Quidditch champions. It's a competitive multiplayer experience that requires an internet connection to play. You can play solo or team up with friends against others online, and so on and so forth. There's not a ton of information on it, but playtests are going to be kicking off, and we have a very, very brief trailer. The trailer isn't really anything to write home about, but this game looks to be the latest Harry Potter game in development. After the success of Hogwarts Legacy, I fully expect Warner Brothers to go all in on the Harry Potter titles. Warner Brothers, sometimes their published titles are hit or misses, but Harry Potter's just an IP that I think I've come to a realization it is absolutely colossal. And given the fact we've got HBO Max rebranding as Max, and there's going to be a Harry Potter series that's going to be launching for the show, it just seems like Harry Potter is getting a reignited level of investment. And I don't see that lightening up anytime soon on the video game front as well. While Quidditch Champions I don't expect to be this big budget, gigantic game, it could be something that's sustained for a while. And ultimately, I do feel like we are going to get something that's akin to Hogwarts Legacy 2 at some point, which I would be all over that given how much I like the first game. But for now, Quidditch Champions has been announced for consoles and PC. Moving on from that, I do want to note Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland has gotten a cinematic intro video and developer intro videos as well. That gives us a little bit of insight into the game. The cinematic intro is actually relatively lengthy. It's like a 2-minute video, just giving us a little bit of a background into the game. And then as far as the developer intro videos, just some developer insight on what they're working on in the game itself. It does have a little bit of footage and whatnot. So hopefully we see an official update on this soon. I feel like we've known about Division Heartland for a while, but it should be out sometime later this year. Division Heartland is obviously a PvEVP focused survival action shooter set in the mysterious rural town of Silver Creek. Explore explore and complete missions by day, take on the dynamically moving contamination enemy factions and player squads by night. Save America's Heartland, what's happening in Silver Creek, uncover the mystery before a new breed of poison spreads everywhere, follow the expanding story to discover why this once peaceful town has become the center of a violent conflict between a group of dangerous rogue Division agents and an aggressive band of nomadic survivors, but the AI factions and other player squads aren't the only danger. Explore by day, survive the night in a single play session, experience both the challenge and exploration of daytime and the thrill and intensity of the nightfall. During the day, explore and complete critical objectives, scavenge for materials and supplies, and face off against dangerous enemies, and then when day turns to night, stakes heighten and new enemies are going to be appearing. Avoid the increasingly volatile contamination and fight your way through NPCs and take on newly hostile players. Extract or die, squad up with crossplay and cross progression, and survive the dynamic contamination. The virus moves differently here, unpredictably, almost with a mind of its own. Though extremely dangerous, you can use the contamination to your advantage. Risk vital seconds inside the cloud for the chance to grab precious loot, gear, and items before left behind by other players. Just make sure you have ample filters to survive. If the virus sickness sets in, return to the base before it kills you. I feel like this is a game that's gonna get a lot of attention initially. I still think the Division IP has a little bit of cachet to it. I don't think the Division, as far as an IP goes, has gone the way of, let's say, a Watch Dogs, and when a new game is dropping like a Heartland, especially because it's gonna be accessible to everyone, being a free-to-play title, it'll be hitting all major platforms. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC, obviously no Switch release, but I see it doing fairly well, at least initially, from an attention standpoint. Ultimately, we know the deal with games like this. It's about sustainability, and with Ubisoft, they obviously have a lot of free-to-play titles in the works. Division Heartland and X-Defiant are probably the most notable ones as far as what they're working on, and I do know some have gone the wayside. And as far as Ubisoft as a whole, their future is kind of in flux right now. Like, we don't really know, what Ubisoft is going to be focusing on here in the foreseeable future, and I know they're not everybody's favorite publisher these days, but you'll remember Ubisoft of yesteryear, and there was a lot to like about them. Hopefully they make progress on some of the other IPs that we love, Assassin's Creed titles, even if the newer ones aren't for me, the Splinter Cell remake, everything like that. Those are the games that are going to be more up my alley, but let's be real. Division Heartland, again, is at least inherently going to have a level of interest, a high level of interest, right out the gate. Whether or not it's sustainable, that's another question that we'll ultimately see the answer to once the game is out. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts on Quidditch Champions. This was an element of Hogwarts Legacy that, me as a non-Harry Potter fan, I didn't really notice that it wasn't a big part of the game, but nonetheless, I did hear it from a lot of other people, but nevertheless, it is getting its own game. Playtests live right now as far as sign-up, so you can go sign up for that. It will be coming to consoles and PC, and we'll see how that ultimately turns out. And the Division Heartland, an intro video, a cinematic intro, and developer intro videos have dropped, and that's our latest insight into the upcoming free-to-play title that should be coming in later of 2023. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.